I've been super inspired by my husband this weekend, who's been at a life mastery course. It's his first real deep dive into personal development, and I'm just so excited for him because, I remember back when I first started my personal development journey 5 years ago, reading books and just absorbing myself in conferences and courses, and then more intensely in the last couple of years when I've really added in meditation and I've done that inner work to release my limiting beliefs. So this is just the first step for him, and I know that he is having an incredible experience. So I'm so thrilled for him. And it's really reminded me about the journey and really how far I have come in my own personal development journey with one major issue, and that is with limiting beliefs. And I'm going to give you some examples, and I'm going to explain what limiting beliefs are if you aren't really sure what they are. So our core beliefs are taught to us by the elements and the environment that we have grown up in. Our core belief is a basic belief of how we think that the world should be, how we think that we should be within this world. So these are beliefs that are taught to us by people like our parents, our family, our friends, our schooling, our social networks growing up, and they really help to shape our lives. Now, sometimes these beliefs can be really uplifting if you've had a really positive childhood experience. Even if you haven't had that bad of a childhood experience, however, sometimes we can just hold on to a situation or event or something that's happened to us from a very young age that we haven't been able to process, and we've taken on a belief that someone else has said something about us, or we've been in a situation where we've created a belief based on a negative experience that we've had. So it's where we accept other people's portrayal of us and how we should be within this world. So I'm going to give you two examples of how a belief can be uplifting and how it can also be limiting. So growing up, I lived in a family that really valued hard work, so that I knew growing up that if I was to put in and work hard, that I would be able to achieve anything that I wanted to achieve. On the flip side to that, I also was at a primary school grade in my younger years where I was in a class with a lot of gifted children. And this wasn't because I was gifted. It was because the timetable worked best for my family. I grew up in America. It's a bit of a different school system. So I grew up with this belief that I wasn't smart enough because I was on the bottom end of the scale for grades and things like that. I was still a really good student because I knew how to work really hard. However, I had this belief that played out in my life in certain aspects where I wasn't going to be smart enough to achieve success or smart enough to really get that promotion or go to the next step or do something different. I also want to explain that limiting beliefs are often not something that we consciously are aware of. I had to do a lot of work to unravel where this limiting belief had come from, because I wasn't walking around every day going, I'm not smart enough, I'm not smart enough. And for sure, some people do. They can know already what it is and they can pinpoint what it is quite easily. For me, it was just like this block, this fear. Maybe it was a fear of failure or a fear of success. I didn't know where this fear was coming from, but it was limiting me. It was stopping me from moving forward, trying new things, going for opportunities, and really just living large and being able to welcome that abundance into my life. Thankfully, I've done the work now, and this is the main area that I help a lot of my clients with now, because limiting beliefs can really keep us stuck. And when we're stuck in that negative mindset, there's no way that we're going to be able to move forward. And often you have to do the work to release it from that first time you felt it. The ones I see the most are, I'm not good enough, and I'm not worthy, and I